Go.
Hello, everybody. So, welcome. We're talking about web3name or W3N today. So first of all, what's that? The idea of this project actually came up late last year when one of the ecosystem projects reached out to us and said, hey, guys, we have collators and we have some kind of a board where the people can see the collators, but they actually don't know who they are because this is just their addresses. And wouldn't it be nice if people had a unique name inside the Polkadot ecosystem? And then we said, wow, this is actually quite a nice idea because we have the same problem. So let's solve that not only for us, not only for the other project, let's solve it globally for everyone in the Polkadot ecosystem. How did we solve it? We solved it in a way which is, I think, pretty useful for a lot of people. So what we did is, you probably know that we are maintaining DIDs on the KILT blockchain. A DID is a decentralized identifier. You can compare that in the real world with maybe your fingerprint, but it is decentralized. So you make this fingerprint yourself on your computer, and it has a private-facing part and it has a public-facing part. The private-facing part always stays on your computer and makes it secure, and the public-facing part is stored on the KILT blockchain. And this public-facing part is not only like a key, it is a little bit more. It has a DID document attached to it where you can have different fields filled out. So for example, linking to credentials which you obtained from other people, but also there's a field called AKA where you can actually put in a name. So we said, okay, let's utilize that functionality and make a possibility to first connect a DID with a name. That is a one-to-one connection. So there's one DID has only one name and one name points only to one DID. This is a very close connection. But of course, people can have more than one address, and they can have more than one address in more than one network. So we put an additional functionality on top of it, which allows you to register addresses from different networks within the Polkadot ecosystem, like from Akala, from you name it, Polkadot, Kusama. Take your address and link this to a DID, which means that you can have multiple addresses and link them to one DID, which is then linked with one name. So putting in the name into the machine will be able to to give you all the addresses, and putting in one address into the machine will actually enable you to find out which name is behind that. So that is the basic idea. It took us a while to build this because we wanted to build it in a way that software developers who later build software which displays those names don't have to do a lot of work. So so it's just a single RPC call to get it out. And we, of course, it was for us also a little bit of work to produce all the software which enables you to get such a DID. Of course, we had that, but to link a name to it and have this name stored on the KILT blockchain, and then also enable you to associate different addresses with it. This is now ready and launched, and you may know Timo. Timo is the other guy that you see. Timo was taking very much a lead in many of the development tasks that were done there. And so I hand it over to Timo now. And Timo is going to walk you through a short live demo of what you can actually do now.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Timo. I'm the tech lead at KILT, and I was doing the PO for this KILT application, which resolve around the Web3 names. All right, let me share my screen to show it to you. So I think that should work. Okay, so we start with the Sporon. We want to create a Web3 name. This is all about this Web3 today. So I want to create a new Web3 name, and to do that, first we will have to make a new identity. I prepared a mnemonic just because it's faster to do if you already have one. Okay. So this is my new one, completely empty. And now we'll upgrade it to an on-chain DID. For us in our system, we always have these decentralized identifiers, which are important because you connect your keys to that, your authorization keys, your encryption keys, which we use for credential exchange, and your service endpoints. And that's basically a basic block of our system. Normally, it would cost a deposit, but currently, or from today, we are running a promo which will cover the deposit and the transaction fees for you. So I don't even need a KILT token right now. So let me enter the password for authorizing that. And we have to wait a second for it to go through. Yeah, quick talk about the DID. So yeah, it has these private parts and the public parts. The private parts obviously stay on your machine. It stays in Sporan and it's not exposed. And the public part, like the public keys, which you need to prove something or to do encrypted message passing with, these are written to the blockchain. So what happens right now, we have generated the keys and we are uploading making a new blockchain transaction basically, which will upload the public part to the blockchain. This was successful, so now we have our on-chain DID. The next thing would be to create a web3name. All right, this also can use the promo. I will continue to use that. And I will choose a new web3name. Next step. See if I have the right web3name I want to use. Sign it. And now this is also created and put to the blockchain. The web3name is a one-to-one relationship to the DID. This web3name is also a blockchain transaction where the promo backend will take or cover the fees and the deposit for you. Yeah, and this, when you think about the DID as your kind of yourself, right? Your face and attributes about yourself, the name is just this alias which links it to it, right? So we have to wait for it right now for it to be finalized on the blockchain. This can sometimes take a little while. It's normally some blocks which are needed until it's finalized. Yeah, the idea is with a web3name that it basically creates trust, credibility, recognizability also, but we will talk about this a little bit more soon. All right, web3name is done. Oh, I don't think that's the phone, but was just launched. Let's see, but it's here. The web3name is here. The on-chain DID is here. Okay. We also launched a new website, which is this one here. It's called w3n.id. You can copy either your web3name or your DID, which you have seen here at the bottom. Paste it in, and you will see the web3name created from the blockchain. It also works the other way around. Let's try Ingo's web3name. So you see he has also a DID connected to his web3name, and he actually has two credentials. Here, Ingo was making new credentials with our social KYC. These credentials were tested by social KYC, put into Sporan, and he decided to make them publicly available. So he put them up on Pinata, an IPFS pinning service, and I can now fetch them from that. So I see now his Twitter handle. I see that the attester was actually social KYC, the institution I trust with these kind of credentials, and I see that it's currently valid. All right. Next, we would go over a use case. Yeah. So here you have the stake board. You might have seen this if you are staking or if you are a collator. This is a list of our currently active collators, and they all use just blockchain addresses, simple blockchain addresses. So what we wanted to do is to connect these blockchain addresses to the DID and therefore to the web3name For that, again, we have made another website which leads you through this promotion. It will also lead you again through the process in Sporan, which I already showed you. But we will concentrate here on the form at the bottom to connect the DID or the Web3 name with the blockchain address. All right, so for that, we copy the DID out from here again. Connect to the wallet. Normally it asks you for permissions. I already gave it permission. This loads your accounts. Select my collator account. This will ask me to sign both in the portal extension and in the Sporan. Right, and in the Sporan. Sign. Okay. All right, now we have to wait for it to go through. This again is a link which exists on our blockchain, on the KILT blockchain, which links any blockchain address, any Polkadot or Kusama ecosystem address to the DID. So it can be used from relay chains, it can be used from all kinds of different parachains. They can all be connected to a DID, and you can also connect multiple different addresses to the same Web3 name in that way.
And maybe also because this question is definitely going to come up. So we haven't connected it with Ethereum addresses yet, but we're looking into Ethereum, Solana, Near, whatever, to have this spread out to more networks. Of course, we are starting in our own ecosystem because this is closest to us, and this is also why we have the promotion now for basically the ecosystem before telling anyone else, so that everyone in the ecosystem will be hopefully able to fetch themselves a really cool name and attach their collator accounts or whatever voting accounts or whatever you need where you want to be a personality to those DIDs.
Yes. So it says that the linking was successful. Let's try to confirm this on the stake board. I'm reloading the stake board. And there it is. My address was connected to my Web3 name. Yeah, now, if you want to use a promo and everything like that, and then want to integrate it maybe into your own projects, into your own dApps, stake boards, we will integrate it also in other projects from ourselves, as you saw, the social KYC use case, did sign and so on. There's a bit of documentation for it on our dev.kilt.io page. And this is basically all you need to query this, account links.query web3 name. So you just put in an account, call this function, and this will query the web3 name and return you the web3 name. All right, this is everything. This is everything we wanted to show you. Yeah, thank you very much.
Very cool. So first of all, there are questions in the box saying, hey, I can't see the promo button. This is because you don't have the new version of the Sporan, because it is just live for an hour or so. So please close your browser, open your browser, and you're done. Please don't please don't close your browser right now, because then you can't see us anymore. But after the talk, maybe close your browser and open it again. Then you will automatically have the new version of the Sporan downloaded. So that's the reason why you don't see the button. All right. Yeah, that was basically what we wanted to show you. I think this is hopefully a great step in the Polkadot ecosystem, because it is really, really easy to integrate the RPC calls for showing those names, and it will make things much easier for hopefully many, many projects out there. That's on the developer side, but also on the application side, these things can be used for different things. So maybe Timo, if you want to just pop up maybe the did sign as an example, so that people can actually start following. I can do that basically. So how do I share your screen here? Am I allowed to share screen? Here, yeah. Share.
At the top, if you hover your mouse over your interface.
This is where I share the event. Here we go. So let me do this here. Share screen. And I share the whole screen. Click it first. So for example, you've seen the Ingo thing already. So you probably have heard that we launched a project just a couple of weeks ago called bitsign.io. So with bitsign, I can basically sign every document, be it a PDF or be it a piece of software or be it a new movie or whatever, with my DID, and then people can find out who actually signed this. So I can put an arbitrary document in here if I manage to. So we have, let's do it like this. So here's a how-to. So I have this here. So I say sign now, and maybe I don't need the BTE stash. I need Ingo for that. Here we go, and I sign with my passport here. So this gets now signed directly on my computer, right? No, it was not uploaded to anything, and I can download this as a zip now. And now I have the zip file, and I can send this via email. I can send this via Telegram or whatever, including my signature, even on a memory stick if I like. And then the receiver can basically go to this verify page, and that should also be in the downloads now. Here's the file I just created, and this is checking now on the blockchain. Maybe you've seen the little red cross first. And that it was signed in a coherent way. It checks with the DID on the blockchain if it actually matches, and then it gets out my name here, my DID here, my signature here, and I can, as I could before, fetch more information about the person which actually signed. And here I know already, so this person is Ingo at KILT.io, but I can also find out that this person is obviously Ingo Rübe at Twitter, and I could add more and more credentials to that so that the receiver becomes more and more certain that this person actually signed this, right? And this is, I think, the big difference to many other systems where you just claim a name and then you claim the name. In this system, you can actually, as a person, make it more and more certain for others that you are actually the person, because you can link all your social media accounts with it and say, I have actually proven that I own this email address. I have proven that I own this Twitter account, that I own this Discord account, and so on and so on and so on. And that makes it, I think, pretty useful. And
yeah, I want to add that right now you don't see the web3name here. This is will be launched in the next days. But you can see already the problem right now. You see that it's signed by a very long string, and you don't know who that actually is. And with the web3 names, you can have a lot of recognizability and build trust in these systems. So the attester, for example, if you saw on w3n.id, was actually the social KYC. You wouldn't be able to see this just from this long string.
Yeah, but I can of course copy and paste it now and go to w3n.id and paste it in here, and then I find out who actually signed it. Hey, it was Ingo, and I can also use this here. So, for example, if I have social KYC here as an attester, I can use this word social KYC and put it back up here. And then I find out the DID of the social KYC service. So this works in many nice ways. So stopping the sharing, and okay, let's. We have some questions in the question box. I will just go through them, and we decide one by one who answers them. Okay. So 4 votes, that's the best one now. How KILT can be used in this, and can I change my name later? You cannot change your name. What you can do is that you give up your DID and you claim a new one. That is always possible. But you can always be connected. So your DID can only be connected to only one to only one name. So basically 2 options: either you give up this name and then you claim a new one, then you have changed your name, or if you want to stay with the old one and have an additional one, just make a new DID. You can have multiple ones, and then link the new name to the new DID. That's both possible. All right.
Yeah, and I think how KILT can be used on this, I think we just showed basically, right? So you can generate more trust. So you see a credential from someone, and you can resolve this Web3 name and show it to the user. So it has much more value.
All right, then let's move on. Next question. Hello, I would like to figure out what kind of name fits the best to use in Web3 space. Will it show up everywhere in net in every transaction? I mean my real name, or can I be representing on Web3? I'm an artist, so perhaps the best for me to use my own name, or better, not to expose real name. So for you, I would recommend to basically have 2 or 3 DIDs. One may be with your artist name, one may be with your real name, and then from case to case decide which one you want to use. And of course, there will also be maybe addresses where you don't want any name attached to. So privacy is an important thing, right? So you don't have to use this. This is optional, right? You can have DIDs which are not attached to names. You can have, of course, addresses which are not attached to DIDs. You can just have like 10 different Kusama addresses and just attach one or none of them to that. Only do it where it's necessary and where it's useful. We're not trying to expose names like crazy here to the public, right? So it's when you have a use case where you want your name attached, like you are, I don't know, you're a collator. For a collator, for example, it's a very good use case because collators normally have a lot of trust behind them. And of course, people are trusting names more than arbitrary numbers. They are hard to find out what is the person behind that. So it will be much easier for them. But then there will be other cases where you actually don't want your name exposed. And when you're an artist and you're making, for example, NFTs, I think your name could even become a brand name after a while, probably. So for artists, I think it's a very good use case that you attach names to your work, right? Because that's what you actually want. Timo, anything to add?
No, you explained it well, I would say.
Oh, thank you. Okay, then we move on to the next one. Can anyone have multiple Web3 name with a single ID? I think we answered that already. No, there's only one Web3 name attached to a DID, but there can be multiple accounts attached to this one name and DID pair.
Yeah, and you're not limited in how many DIDs you have, right? Like you just generate a new public-private key pair, so you can have a new DID with a new Web3 name.
Can you provide some examples of what we can do with Web3 names and maybe some future possibilities that don't exist? Yeah, so I think I just gave a nice example, which is the DID sign, right? So DID sign, if you sign documents and send them to others, they would be very much interested in finding out who sent them. And a long address is not very speaking. And if they know that you are this, if they know that I'm Ingo and I have the Web3 name of Ingo and it is unique, then they can say, okay, this was Ingo again. And if they don't know Ingo or don't know Ingo that good, they might want to check my social accounts and see, all right, this is the guy which I also know from Twitter as Ingo Rübe, and this guy is obviously the same one. And then I can be pretty sure that the right person signed this document. How do you request your Web3 name? I think this is what Timo basically explained. So there's this promo page from where you can start, which is also in the box, I think. Just grab it from there. If you make a DID during a promo and claim W3N with 0 KILT in the wallet, is that an issue? Should the user deposit a little bit of KILT to reach existential deposit limit? No.
Right? Yeah, I can answer this. So the existential deposit, the existential balance limit, rather, is something which exists more on the balance side. So if you fall under an existential limit there, your account gets reaped and the rest of your tokens are just collected as dust. But your DID is not connected really to this balance. So your DID can exist with you having 0 KILT in the wallet. So it's not an issue. Also one thing I wanted to mention, just for security concerns maybe, we have this promo which pays a deposit for you, but the promo does not have control. We gave up control of the deposit. So even though the backend is paying it for you in the promo, it does not have control of it. Only you have control over it.
Yeah, I think this is important. So we can't take it away from you.
Yeah,
I think that's an important message, and we can't change it. So it's yours. And yeah, another thing that actually we want this promo to be a success. So if you have friends in the Web3 ecosystem and even outside the Web3 ecosystem, tell them about it. I think the more people actually join the fun, the faster it will grow. You might know that we are also on the Paris Blockchain Week on Wednesday. So I will officially announce this feature for the rest of the world, basically. So not only our little ecosystem, but the rest of the world on Wednesday. And so please be quick to get your cool names and also to get them for free, which is limited to the first 10,000 users. If you make a DID during the promo and claim them, oh no, that we have already. Sorry, awesome, but get this to Ethereum before the leeches steal your idea. You guys deserve. Yes, we do. Thank you very much for the kind words. So yes, we are already looking into it. And we will try to be as fast as possible. But actually, we wanted to launch it now. We could have waited until everything is perfect, but this is just, I always call that the German way. Wait until it's perfect, and then somebody else did it before you, and they already have a big market share. So we thought it would be good to get out with this, even though it is only the Polkadot ecosystem. The Polkadot ecosystem is, I think, one of the most important ones out there in the blockchain world, and it covers already a lot. And I think it is also known for innovations, and it wouldn't, I think it's a natural way that if this thing is accepted in our little ecosystem, then it will also trickle down to the others. So let's see what we can do. So I think it was the right way to launch now and not wait until everything else, the whole world is being connected. And if you connect Ethereum, then people ask, okay, where's near, right? So we have to do this one by one. Why is one's Twitter username visible from the samples? I saw on KILT Protocol Twitter account. I thought KILT was all about making your identity invisible. This is what Timo said in the beginning. So I chose with my, I got my credential, my Twitter credential from Social KYC. At that point, it was private. Only I had it. Social KYC had forgotten about it, and I had it in my Sporran. So what I can basically, when I have a credential like that, which says, okay, Social KYC assures that Ingo is actually the owner of Ingo Rübe at Twitter. I can do many things with that. One would be that I send this over on request. So for example, if a website has a login and they want to, and they accept Social KYC for login, they could say, hey, do you have a Twitter credential? Then please send it. And then I could send it, and then I could log in. In this way, it would only be shared with the website at that point, and it would still be very private to me. But I can also do something else. I can say, hey, this information I want to be public, and then I can make a so-called endpoint where so first of all, I export my credential to my computer. Then it's there in the downloads, and then I can upload it to some cloud service, for example, Pinata in my case, which I control, right? And then I can tell the Sporran, please, this URL where this piece of data sits, actually put this into my DID, which then gives me full control, because I can always delete the data which I uploaded to the cloud service. So I still have full control, but for the time being, while it is uploaded, I make this very public. I publish my credential. Be careful with this feature. You shouldn't publish all your credentials, but there's some credentials where you could say, actually, it is more valuable for me that it is public than if it was private. So for example, my email address and my Twitter make it pretty certain who I am. So it is valuable for me that people can see if I signed a document that I actually signed it. And so this can be totally open. Of course, I wouldn't link this account with something where there's lots of funds in there, so people would see how much funds I have or something like that. So, that wouldn't be recommended. But you don't have to, right? You choose how much privacy you actually want to give up, because if you build a system which has only privacy and not the possibility of giving up any part of it, then you actually have something which is very cryptic and in the end not very useful for a lot of people. So we designed a system where you are actually, as the user, totally in the control of your data, and you choose which data you want to publish. You choose which data you want to share, and if you publish data, then you can also depublish it again. Next question, Timo. Anything to add?
No, thank you.
Will I be able to use my web3 name to export my transaction history of my dot wallet for perhaps tax purpose? Wow, distant future feels realistic. Probably for your tax, you would also need some kind of a credential which has a government KYC behind that. But that would be really cool, distant future. Yes, I would like to see that. But as you say, this is probably not happening tomorrow morning. Are web3 names case sensitive? No, they're all lowercase. If not possible to claim the name of Web3 in browsers other than Chrome and Firefox, currently yes, because you will need the Sporan for it. Well. Currently, you will need the Sporan for it. But as you know, everything that we build is open source. And if there's someone out there who wants to build an even cooler Sporan or something which is just only for Web3 names and nothing else, you are more than invited to take it apart. It's all open source, and build your stuff. For other browsers, as applications, as apps, as websites, whatever you like. So it's completely open, and we're not building everything. We want the community out there to build stuff. This is always the idea behind KILT. We want to give the people a groundwork for building cool applications on top of that. And this is what we're doing all the time. These applications like Sporan that you see are examples to show what the power of KILT is, but we are not making any money with the Sporan or so please compete against us, be better, and make the coolest stuff. Please integrate as many things, especially Web3 names, into your wallets when you are a wallet builder, and do great things on top of that. So we will be always a little bit limited because we are not the hugest team in the world. So for us, it's Chrome and Firefox, and maybe there will be a third browser, and maybe we have some discussions internally for making a mobile app. But But if you tell us that you will do it, and we will not disturb you, and we will draw back. Can I do on the phone? That's basically the same question. Right now, the Sporan is an extension to Chrome and Firefox, and I don't think that Chrome and Firefox allow extensions or.
No, we don't have it on the phone. We have investigated how we can make it work. For example, with this Safari extension, also a reason why we don't have it on desktop yet. There are multiple problems with that, especially also legal problems. We don't have an app on the phone yet, but we're investigating possible solutions. But as Ingo already said, if anyone is interested in helping out with that, I'm sure a treasury grant can be made here.
Okay, so the next question was already answered by Paul. Thank you, Paul. Web3 name is completely decentralized. It is on the blockchain. It's not getting more decentralized, probably. So the w3n.id is just a very, very simple website which calls an RPC call on the blockchain. You can build your own w3n.id site probably in 1 or 2 days if you want. So there's nothing where, so we own this site, yeah, but that's it. So anyone else can rebuild this, and everything else is handled by the blockchain, and this is decentralized. Yes, it is. How is going the collaboration with SpiderDAO? Well, nicely, but, but I think that is not the subject today, and that would distract people because that's a totally different topic. Sorry, I won't answer that. All right, so maybe some from the box, starting at the bottom. W3N usernames are unique. Yes, they are unique. If one is taken, then it's taken. Do you see exchanges using Web3 names? No, we don't see them because we just launched it today, but that can change in the future, of course. So probably people don't know. So you know more than all the other people in the world right now, because we have had no promotion of that. We have talked to just one project out there, the guys which actually had the initial request. That was Akala, so Akala knows, but everyone else actually does not.
I want to say, I mean, Christine already answered, but I just wanted to stress, yes, we are hiring new developers, and please come forward, apply for our jobs. We have lots of stuff which we want to do in the future. So yeah, please apply.
Yes, it's totally cool with us. We have beer and ice cream in the summer. All right, so I think we were pretty quick.
Yeah, I think we can wrap it up.
We can wrap it up now. We're not going to steal your time. Request to you, call to action would be talk about it inside the ecosystem. It's just about not even 48 hours until the rest of the world will find out about it. This thing will also be recorded, so please send it to all your friends as soon as you see it on the website or on Twitter or maybe on Telegram, where Christine and Elisa are going to post it as soon as this is finished here, and tell the people to claim their names. It costs nothing, and hey, maybe, hopefully, it has a great future. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.